Alright, came back to finish that second derivative problem. We did the quotient rule so far, so I did, I wish I color coded these, but you're probably okay with it, right? I did G times F prime, so I did those two, right? And then I did subtracting that by F times the derivative of the second. What I'm going to now do is I will FOIL these out. I will FOIL these out. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. Okay, this one first, okay? Hold on. I'm going to simplify my numerators. Does that make sense? So, if I multiply, I should probably call this like work or like side work. Okay, but let me go ahead and distribute. Okay. If I do that, I will get 10y times dy dx, right? That's the first term. And then I should probably draw these lines as I go over them. What's next? 10y times negative 2. That is minus 20y. Next, I am now doing negative x times dy dx. That is negative x times dy dx. Lastly, I have negative x times negative 2, which is positive 2x. Alrighty, I FOIL the first two. I am now going to FOIL the other one. This one. Hold on a second. Let me go ahead and copy this down here. Alright, that's what I'm now doing. Okay, so first of all, okay, hold on a second. I use this pink pen pretty often. Let me add it as my favorite pen. Okay. I'm doing y times 10, which is 10y. Whoopsie, hold on a second. That's not just 10. That's 10 times dy dx. So I have to do 10y times dy dx because I'm multiplying this term by this y, right? So you okay with that being 10y dy dx? Continuing. What about y times negative 1? That is negative y. Next. Negative 2x. Let me circle this. I'm multiplying this times that. Negative 2x times 10 dy dx. What's that going to be? Negative 20x dy dx. And lastly, I am multiplying negative 2x times minus 1. And that is plus 2x. Now, remember what we are doing for the numerator. We are subtracting this. Hold on, let me go ahead and talk. Green times yellow. We're subtracting that by red times blue, right? So we're subtracting these. So I can write these down, but what I'm doing is I'm subtracting this line minus this line. I'm subtracting these two grayed boxes, okay? Okay, take notes here. Subtract these two. Whoopsie, I did not mean to write it with the dotted line pen. Subtract them. Okay, so maybe I can copy this down here and then I will subtract these here, okay? So my goal is to subtract these two. If you take a look, 10y dy dx minus 10y dy dx, they cancel out. Yay, they canceled out. Another, 2x minus 2x, they cancel out. So all I need to do is maybe combine those two middle terms. If you take a look, I can combine negative 20x, negative 20y minus negative y. Let me write down what I just said, okay? I'm doing negative 20y minus negative y. that turns into negative 20y plus y. And what's that? That is negative 19y. Okay, next term. Moving on to the next term. This term right here and this term right there are like terms. You see that, right? So if I do negative x times dy dx minus negative 20x times dy dx, you notice that subtracting negative will turn into positive, right? Negative x times dy dx. And what was I saying? This minus and this minus will turn into plus 20x times dy dx. So I will get positive, because if you combine the negative 1x and positive 20x, you will get 19, positive 19x times dy dx. We're doing super good. Now this purple term and this pink term that I just got, these are the only two terms on the numerator. Okay, so let's see. What were we doing all this work for? We were doing all this work to simplify that second derivative. Okay, hold on. Let me copy this. I'll go ahead and copy this over here. So what used to be all this, we took care of all that colorful multiplication on top. So what I now have is the second derivative of y with respect to x is, denominator is 10y minus x squared, right? Nothing changed for the denominator, but we did all that multiplication. And when we did that, we got negative 19y plus 19x times dy dx. Okay, and these two are what we just got from all that simplifying, all that foiling and combining like terms. Okay, it is time for us to plug in what dy dx is in here. Okay, we're gonna plug in what dy dx is in that position. Okay, so I'll go ahead and write that down. Now, what was dy dx? It's been a long problem, so I forgot. Where are you? Okay, so this was it. Maybe I should take this out of your homework. Maybe I really should. Alright, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now plug in this beautiful dy dx that we found earlier into that position, okay? And you know, from this point on, it's just gonna be mostly simplifying. So the second derivative of y with respect to x is, hold on, negative 19y plus 19x times y minus 2x over 10y minus x. Where did I get that from? That was that first derivative we found like 2 pages ago. All over 10y minus x squared. Now it's just a matter of our beautiful algebra skill. Hold on, I don't like how this fraction bar is just way too long. Let me go ahead and fix that fraction bar real quick. Not that it's a difficult problem, it's just so long, don't you think? Okay, how am I going to simplify this? I don't like how I have a fraction on top and this is fraction and a fraction. So here's my strategy, okay? I will multiply by 10y minus x over 10y minus x. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that so that I can cancel this out. I'm gonna do that so that I can cancel that out. Okay? So take a look. If I multiply the top by 10y minus x and the bottom by 10y minus x, Okay, my daughter. My little dog, come here. The numerator, we actually have to distribute. Do you see that? This is connected by a plus sign, so we're going to have to distribute that 10y minus x. Just don't touch that, please. So what will happen? If I distribute this, I will have to multiply negative 19y by that blue parenthesis, and I will have to multiply the second term by it, which is the bottom just canceling out. Okay. How about I take another break and I will come back and finish the rest again, all right?